Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to recreate this extreme cat eye volume set using all London Lash products. I'm going to start off with the Nano Hydrogel eye pads, my favorite glue, which is the Royal Bond. I'm going to use a Superbonder primer and cleanser, and for the tweezers, I'm going to use the number 2, 5, and 1. So for the start of the show, I'm going to use their Mayfair Premade collection, and look how beautiful these 4D fans are. I am obsessed with them. They are one of the best pre-made fans that I've ever used. So I'm going to start off by putting on her eye pads first. Normally I like to wash with an actual foam cleanser before I put the eye pads, but today I'm going to use their actual cherry cleanser, which is kind of like a primer but not really. And after I use that, then I'm going to go ahead and prime. But again, I'm starting off with the eye pads. I'm using the Nano Hydrogel eye pads, and then I'm just going in with blue sensitive next care tape. And once I make sure that those eye pads are fully secure, they're not in her eye, they're not bothering her, then we're gonna start with the cherry cleanser. Okay, so like I mentioned, the cherry cleanser is pretty much like a primer, but not necessarily. It's like a cleanser without the foam. So pretty much what I like to use is the lipstick applicators, and I will pretty much just make sure that I'm fully coating the lashes, just making sure that any kind of leftover makeup or any kind of oils or residue is completely removed. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to dry her out, and then I'm going to go in with the primer. So it's pretty much the same steps that I always do. The only difference is that instead of using a foam cleanser, I'm using the actual cherry cleanser. And I believe they also have ones that don't have a scent, that are pretty much just a basic cleanser, unscented. So for the mapping today, I'm going to be using one that is on the back of the boxes. That's why I love using these pre-made fans, because they already give you lash maps on the back of the box, so that way you don't have to sit there and try to see what kind of mapping you're going to use. Especially for someone that doesn't know how to make her own fans, or if you have only taken a classic course and you are trying to get more into volume lashing but don't know how to make your own fans, then this is the best way to go about it. I highly recommend to use the London Lash pre-made fans because it just makes your job so much easier. So now I'm pretty much just lifting her lashes off the iPad using tape. This will help if your client naturally has lashes that point straight down onto the iPad. So when it comes to picking up my fans, I pretty much like to pull them off from the base and then place them down and then pick them up from the top. And then when it comes to dipping the extension, I like to dip them straight in. So you can either place the fans through the lashes that I just showed here, or you could directly place them at the top. So I pretty much just go back and forth. There's no right or wrong way of how to place a fan. I guess it's just personal preference, but at least for me, I like to place them from the top. Sometimes when my client does have very straight lashes that point down, then that's when I'll pretty much hook it in from the top and then just slide it through the lash and then place it from underneath. And I know it sounds a little confusing, but this does help if you are struggling with retention, especially when placing it from the top. At least for me, I have not experienced any kind of bad retention with these fans. And some pre-made fans are hit or miss. Some fans, they just don't last or don't even stick at all. They have like some kind of coating that they just don't stick. But the thing about these lashes is they stick. Like when you place them on there, they are on there really good. I love these fans. They are pretty much one of the best fans that I've tried so far, and trust me, I've tried plenty of pre-made or pro-made fans, especially when you use the Royal Bond glue with it. Oh my goodness, something about these lashes with that glue, they just stick so beautifully. Especially if you are prepping your clients right, you don't necessarily need to use the cherry cleanser. As long as you are washing with any kind of foam cleanser or regular cleanser, and you prime, I promise you guys, that is what's gonna hold those lashes on there so beautifully. If you are not prepping your clients' lashes, and if you are wondering why your pre-made fans are not sticking, that is why. So take that extra time to make sure that they are properly prepped. That way when you do go in and try to place these pre-made fans, they're just gonna stick on there really good. I know that a bunch of people don't like to prep because then it takes away time from actually lashing, but trust me, it will actually make your job so much easier if you take that time to prep them and make sure that towards the application part those lashes are just gonna stick. So when it comes to getting good retention for any kind of set, doesn't matter if it's a classic, volume, mega volume, wispy, or even using pre-made fans, you need to take the necessary steps for those lashes to stick. If you are not washing, I mean, priming, it's like, okay, you know what? Like priming, it's whatever, you know? But as long as you're washing, it's gonna make a huge difference. And if you take that extra, couple seconds to prime, it will just make it a whole lot better, trust me. So again, I'm just going back and forth between both eyes. So the reason why I like to go back and forth between both eyes is because I want to make sure that I'm giving that extension that I just placed enough time to dry. So if you place one extension on one eye and if you try to place another one right next to that extension that you just placed, most likely you are going to get stickies. And I promise you guys that if you are having a hard time with lashes getting stuck to each other, that is probably what is going on, is because you are working on one eye at a time and you are not giving that extension enough time to dry before you place another one. So I highly recommend to be working on both eyes at the same time, just going back and forth and trying to pretty much even it out all throughout, especially if you're someone that has never taken a volume course. I promise you guys, I am isolating perfectly. That lash that you see under here is on the bottom, so it does not touch the extension that I just placed. I promise you guys. I just wanted to clear the air out, okay? But like I was saying, pre-made fans are perfect if you are someone that has not taken a volume training, or you are just scared of making volume fans on your own just because it does take a little bit longer, especially if you're new. I get it, you know, I'm not here to judge. If you want to use pre-made fans because you feel like you're not fast enough to make them on your own, that is totally fine. But I will say, do not depend on volume pre-made fans for you to do this long term. It does help if you are trying to pick up your speed, but as someone that's been doing this for a long time, you want to make sure that you are putting it in the work and you are making sure that you can create fans on your own. So this is a great thing to add to your service, especially if again you have only taken a classic training and you have clients that want something more full than a classic set. The reason why I love to use pre-made fans is because one, sometimes I don't have the time to be sitting there and doing a full set of volume lashes, and it helps out so much with timing. It's like pretty much picking up a classic lash and placing it on the natural lash. It's like as easy as that. All you have to do is pick it up, dip it in the glue, and then place it on the natural lash. It's literally that easy, and that's why I love using pre-made fans, especially when they are as good as these ones. They are so good. They just stick to those lashes so good. And like I mentioned, I've used a lot of pre-made fans because I'm always on the market to test out new brands, new products, and these ones have to be the best ones that I've tried. I don't have any retention issues with them. And trust me, this is why I don't like using pre-made fans, because I have struggled with retention when it comes to using pre-made fans. But these ones do not give me a headache. They just work so beautifully with me, especially when you use a really good glue. The only thing I will say is that the Royal Bond glue that I'm using, it is a 0.5-second dry time glue. And if you are a beginner and if you're barely starting off, this glue will probably be way too fast for you. So try using a glue that has a 2 to 5-second dry time. So if you are using a really fast glue and if you are struggling with your timing, then that is probably what could be affecting your retention, because by the time you place that fan onto that lash, it's probably already dry. So by the time your client goes home, if she's brushing them, they're going to be falling off like crazy. So make sure you are using a glue that is good for your speed. And again, because I am, you know, pretty fast, I do use a really fast glue and I love this glue. I highly recommend it. But I recommend for you to work with your speed and only be using glues that are good for your speed. So as you can see, I'm going back and forth between both eyes. I know some clips it looks like I'm only working on one eye, but I promise you guys I'm going back and forth because again, I want to make sure that I'm giving each extension enough time to dry. And as you guys can see, it's pretty much that simple. You want to make sure that your isolation is on point. You are placing those extensions as close as possible to the lash line, but not touching the skin. So as you guys can see, it's as simple as that. I'm just following the lash map. So where it says 11, you're going to place an 11. If where it says 7, you're going to place a 7, and you're just going to follow the map. It's as simple as that. I know sometimes we tend to overcomplicate it for no reason, but just follow the mapping. It's as simple as that, guys. And especially when it comes to already pre-made fans, they are as simple as that. They're just, all you have to do is pull them off the thing and just place them like if you were doing a classic lash. I will say is that don't depend on pre-made fans forever. I want you guys to save up and take the time to actually take an actual volume training, because this will kind of separate you from the lash artist next door. When you're able to create your own fans, you're able to charge more. I mean, you can't necessarily charge a little bit more using pre-made fans because again, they're a little pricier. So you can charge a little bit more, but if you want to be known as a true artist, then take the time, take a real training, and you know, learn how to make your own fans. I'm not saying that using pre-made fans is like cheating. I'm not saying that you're not a real artist by using pre-made fans, because again, there are times when I use them, especially when I'm running out of time or just because I don't want to sit there and make fans, you know. So don't think that this is a bad way that you're not considered a real lash artist because you're using pre-made fans. No, if this is the way that you want to go, if you don't want to sit there and make your own fans, then you know what, go for it. You know, no judgment here. Do whatever works for you. So yes, I highly recommend using the London Lash pre-made fans. Like I said, I've tried so many on the market and these ones have to be the best ones. So that is pretty much it on my review for the London Lash pre-made fans and the best way on how to get good, really good retention on using pre-made fans. Also, I recommend for you guys to lash 99 to 100%, and that means no baby lashes, just the teenager and the adult ones. So make sure you give yourself enough time to really get in there. That is pretty much it on my review for the London Lash pre-made fans, and I hope this video helped you guys out. So towards the end, you guys are going to see me placing the Superbonder on the base of the lashes, so that will pretty much just seal the glue and it will help with retention. That way those pre-made fans stick so much better. So I'm just gonna add some music here for the rest of the video so I can let you guys enjoy me just filling her up as much as I can. So if you guys did like today's video, and if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified of my future content. Also, go check out all my other videos here on my channel, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.